Good evening and welcome to Legends Field for another edition of high school softball on 9-Star TV. Tonight, our matchup comes to you from the Hoosier Heritage Conference as the 16-3 Pendleton Heights Arabians go up against the 10-4 Greenfield Central Cougars, along with Jim Leisure and the rest of our fantastic crew tonight on 9-Star TV and the ISC Sports Network as well. I am John Herrick. Great to be with you and Jim tonight. Two teams battling it out in Hoosier Heritage Conference play, but also two teams that are going to see each other or could potentially match up against each other in the sectional round. Pendleton Heights sending out Eliza Finley, their big pitcher who's been their ace all season with a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
Yeah, obviously Coach Davis has decided that, you got to win this game if you're going to win the conference. I'm sure he feels like they have a good shot to win the conference. Last night they mauled Mount Vernon, a team that played for a semi-state championship, losing to eventual state champion Roncalli, 1-0 in extra innings. They didn't just beat them. I mean, they beat them 14-1. It was a walk-off grand slam. But yeah, so Coach Davis feels like, hey, I don't worry about the section. Let's win the conference first, and that is a philosophy. Some coaches will maybe hold back a player or two or maybe their best pitcher. Not sure if Greenfield's doing that. They are starting Madison Herbert, a freshman who's only 1-0. So maybe Coach Stewart on Greenfield's side is thinking, don't want to give up too much. We'll play for the sectional championship. Coach Davis is obviously going out to win this one.
But then again, Greenfield Central 10-4 this year, and have been a tough out for people.
Absolutely, but I don't know that Herbert being 1-0 with a 6.16 ERA is probably his number one. I can, obviously you have the same stats I do. We're looking at other pitchers that
both these teams really only throw two pitchers.
Right,
so
exactly.
Hard to tell.
Yep.
Megan Weiniger leads us off for Greenfield Central, and you can see why there with those numbers from her, batting .615 on the season. First pitch from Eliza Finley is slapped foul. Finley, 2.52 ERA, 11-2 record. Greenfield Central, they have won 3 in a row. They are coming off a 9-3 win over Shenandoah back on May 4th. Pendleton Heights, they are 8-1 at home, and they are on a 5-game winning streak. Weiniger was 0 for 3, but she did score 3 runs in that win against Shenandoah, and she is behind in the count here, 0-2. It is a very sunny, beautiful night in Pendleton with a game time temperature of 84 degrees. Matter of fact, for the month of May, we might be reaching near record highs tomorrow. That one's a line shot down the left field line, but it is caught out of the air by Bryn Libler. Bryn Libler makes a nice catch, and that is out number 1, and that's a big reason why, Jim, Pendleton is 16-3, making defensive plays like that.
Well, they are senior dominated, and Bryn Libler, as you see the replay here, just gets real tall, real quick right there. I mean, that's about the apex of her jump there. She was able to haul that one down. But, yeah, this is a senior-dominated squad, and players like Libler, I think Coach Davis are real excited about how far they can go.
Josie White is up. She fouls that one away. So Eliza Finley getting ahead in counts early as the Pendleton Heights starting pitcher in the circle. Rest of the starting lineup for Greenfield. After White, it's Olivia Roberts in third. Ella Redmond is batting cleanup. Morgan Hornaday is fifth. Faith Butler 6th, Lily Stewart is 7th, Addison Heron is 8th, and Layla Fatelli is batting 9th. She is one of those freshmen that Jim talked about, playing catcher as well, and Madison Herbert is the starting pitcher. Both pitchers also in the flex position, so you could see them potentially move into the batting order. On Pendleton's defense, it's Kaya Hubble in left field, Haley Brennemer in center, Caroline DeRolf in right, as that one is down and away to make it 2-1. On the hot corner at third, you just saw Bryn Libler. Chloe Gregory is at short. Bo Shelton's at second. Caitlin Goodwin is on first. Keely Ryan is the catcher, taking the pitches from Eliza Finley. Head coach is Jason Stewart for Greenfield Central. And for Pendleton Heights, it is Rob Davis. That one's sent high in the air to left. Routine play, though, for Kaya Hubble, and very quickly 2 up, 2 down for Greenfield Central.
Well, two hitters, John, two left-handed hitters, both of them going the other way, kind of that slap hit variety. You're going to see on the replay here, just kind of moving. Oh, thought we were going to see it. Moving forward toward the pitcher and just trying to slap one into an open space. And unfortunately for her, ball was not able to find a spot.
Now we have a right-handed hitter in Olivia Roberts, coming off of an 0-for-2 evening against Shenandoah last Wednesday. Fouls that one off, 0-1. A couple noticeable differences about both teams. Pendleton Heights has been able to get 5 more games in than Greenfield Central, and Pendleton coming off of the win last night, and Greenfield Central having not played since last Wednesday.
You know, one of the reasons, John, maybe right down the right field line, you can see Pendleton actually has a tarp that covers the infield dirt area, and earlier in the year, Greg Rakestraw and I were here.
And that one is caught to end the inning. Kaya Hubble makes the catch, and that does it for the top of the first. Before we head to the bottom of the first, Jim, go ahead and finish your thought.
Well, again, Rake and I were here a week or so ago, and it was a miserable day, typical of every day this spring. Rained all day. Rained all day, cloudy, overcast, just ugly. But when we got here, they had the tarp on the field, and the kids went out and they got the tarp off. And honestly, the infield dirt itself did not look any much different than it does right now. That's the only reason they got that game in. By the same token, you can see the Pendleton baseball team right over here to our left, and it was covered in water. I mean, the grass or the dirt area was covered in water. Baseball tarps are much bigger and more expensive than softball tarps, but I wonder if that isn't why Pendleton has played more games, because they've had this tarp and it protects their field.
Let's get to the starting lineups now for the Pendleton Heights Arabians. They will lead off with Kaya Hubble, sophomore left fielder. Batting second, Haley Brunnemer, senior center fielder. Third is Caroline DeRolf, senior right fielder. Fourth is Keely Ryan, senior catcher. Fifth is Chloe Gregory, who is a senior shortstop. Sixth is Bo Shelton, junior second baseman. Seventh is Caitlin Goodwin, first baseman, who is a sophomore. Eighth is Bryn Libler, senior third baseman. Lily Koffels, junior designated player. Eliza Finley is the flex player and the pitcher for the Pendleton Heights Arabians. And there is Madison Herbert, the freshman that Jim and I were talking about earlier, 1-0 in limited action. So, but again, one of these talented freshmen that clearly Coach Jason Stewart has a lot of confidence in. And win or lose tonight, Jim, you might need her at some point during sectional play. So what better opportunity for Madison Herbert to get more opportunities here?
No, well, no doubt about it. A lot of times when you're playing young people, and again, they do start 4 freshmen in Josie White, Addison Heron in right field, Herbert on the mound, and Fatelli behind the plate. You got to learn at what speed the good game is really played at, and that's what these freshmen are learning. They're learning to compete at this level.
Warm-up pitches are done for Herbert. The catcher is Layla Fatelli. First base, it's Lily Stewart. Second base, Megan Weiniger. Shortstop, Josie White. Ella Redmond is at third. Morgan Hornaday in left. Olivia Roberts in center. Addison Heron is the right fielder. That is the defensive lineup for the Greenfield Central Cougars. Kaya Hubble's had a solid year for Pendleton, batting .460. She was 1 for 3 last night in the win over Mount Vernon, and also scored a run. Herbert's first pitch to her on the money for a strike. Also for Hubble this season, has scored 19 runs, third highest on the team, 23 hits, 4 driven in, also has 2 doubles. Count evens up at 1-1.
Coach Davis just kind of signaled to Hubble, rolled his fingers around, just said, hey, just go. It's your at bat, do something.
Acted like she might do something, then didn't like what she saw there from Herbert, so it's 2-1 now. Of course, conference pride on the line, too. And now it's 3-1. A couple of Greenfield Central fans did not like the call there. I think they thought that was a strike.
Too much glove movement by the catcher. I mean, it was outside. She tried to bring it in, but when the umpire sees the glove moving that much, he's not going to give it to you.
Puts this one in play. White charging, can't get there. Base hit to lead off the game for Pendleton Heights.
Now, there are such things, and I call them location and execution pitches, where a catcher will set up maybe slightly outside, maybe an inch or two outside the plate. and they just sit there. And then that pitcher hits that glove, no movement. A lot of times the umpire will call that a strike because it was that was the location you were trying to hit, and you executed it, and it was close enough. But when you're lunging to the ball and then trying to rip it back inside, they're not going to give you that.
Haley Brunnemer is up next. Quickly falls behind. 0-1.
Brunnemer, can absolutely hit some bombs here. The wind is kind of blowing out to left center a little bit. She had 2 home runs off Roncalli phenom Keegan Rothrock.
Runner goes, throw down there over the head of White into center field, but a stolen base for Kaya Hubble.
I was wondering, John, if Coach Davis might run a little bit. You do have a freshman catcher. You see the replay here. She gets out, and the ball just kind of sails on her. She didn't really finish the throw. She kind of didn't follow through. She just kind of threw it and then rocked back. They don't run a lot. They only got about Pendleton Heights has about 16 stolen bases on the season. I guess that's the 17th.
Sends that one skyward, does Brunnemer. Chasing, and it's caught by Weiniger. But now in a rundown is Hubble. Hubble in some trouble. Can she get back in time? No, she does not. Risky move there by Hubble was too far off the bag. And what looked like a potential early threat in this inning for Pendleton Heights is done.
Well,
so
forget, the replay here, this is clearly the second baseman's ball. She has the best angle. You can see the first baseman's going to have to make one of those basket Willie Mays catches. But the second baseman there, Weiniger, just fires it over. She doesn't hesitate. A lot of times kids will say, I'm going to look and see if the runner's going. She didn't look. She caught the ball, turned around and fired it. And luckily for her, Ella Redmond was right there and was able to chase her back.
Caroline DeRolf is up next.
Really nice job by the senior there, Weininger, because, again, so many times I've seen kids catch the ball, set themselves. Hey, is she going? Oh, no, she's going. Well, it's too late now. You got to throw it, and she did.
Not only does DeRolf have a homer this year, she also has 32 hits, 15 driven in, 10 doubles.
Tell you what, put a star by that play by Megan Weiniger.
Yeah, maybe early, but it feels like a significant play early in this one. Because normally if Pendleton gets a runner on that quickly, especially the leadoff runner, it's been trouble for the opposition. Pendleton averaging almost 9 runs per ball game.
They got some hitters, man. They really do, and they have a chance. In 4A, they have a chance.
The 3-0. And there's a walk. 17th walk of the season issued by Madison Herbert. Puts DeRolf on first.
I know
Keely Ryan is next.
I know there's some really good teams in 4A, not to mention the defending champion Roncalli Royals, but here's a shot from last night that I think this is the grand slam home run that sent everybody home.
Yeah, Keely Ryan hitting this one out last night, helping in that game because it was a 9-run lead. It's a 10-run rule after 5, and when she hits that, that makes it a 13-run game, and the game was able to end right there.
They have hit some home runs as a team, has Pendleton Heights here, 30 on the season coming into tonight's ball game. And again, I kind of call this place the launching pad. Every time we're here, there's 2 or 3 that get out of here.
Yep, and Ryan fouls that one away. Ryan does have 6 home runs, second on the team, by the way, in that category. Bo Shelton has 7 to lead the way. So you'll see Shelton a little bit later on. She is in the starting lineup, the 1-1. And it's a strike. I think Ryan was kind of maybe standing close to the plate, seeing if she could maybe get hit by that one.
I'll give the freshman Herbert some credit here. She's hitting spots like that one right there. Again, you said the batter is crowding the plate a little bit, but we still want the inside corner. So it's tough to be able to squeeze it in there without hitting the batter. So she's doing a nice job so far.
Ryan drives this, but right into the glove of Megan Weiniger. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a runner left on base for Pendleton Heights. We're scoreless as we head to the second next on 9-Star TV and the ISC Sports Network.
We are really heavily involved in the community, so there are multiple different volunteer opportunities that we can go and do.
Volunteer time to share their time and talents with organizations that need not only monetary assistance, but just people's time to help those organizations grow and thrive.
9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
9-Star is very focused on customer and member care, focused on making sure that however we communicate with the member and customer is how they want to communicate.
You know, sometimes we're the one person that they speak to in a day, and you want that conversation to be happy and pleasant.
As a nonprofit co-op, we're focused on providing the best service we can for our members.
9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Both teams come up empty in the first inning. We head to the second on 9-Star TV and the ISC Sports Network, along with Jim Leisure. I'm John Herrick on this beautiful Tuesday night for softball action. There's a look at the head coach for the Pendleton Heights Arabians, Rob Davis, in his 12th season, along with his assistant, Haley Cox. Both of them have, coached a lot of games together, won a lot of games for the Arabians.
I've really done a nice job in just building a program. You know, there's a lot of teams in every single sport in the state that have teams, and there's a handful that have programs. Coach Davis has built a program here. Seems like they just simply reload year in and year out.
Ella Redmond starts us off here for Greenfield Central. She's batting .480 on the season, coming off of an 0-for-4 performance last Wednesday against Shenandoah. Hacks the first one foul.
Yeah, a little bit of a looping swing there, dropped the bat head before she brought her hands forward. She just wants to drive the hands forward, let the bat head follow.
She has 9 doubles this season, has homered twice. And again, one thing Jim and I mentioned at the start of the broadcast was the youth of Greenfield Central, not really with Redmond. She is a senior, and I thought, you know, again, I like to watch, I know you and I both like to watch teams warm up and take infield, and felt like Redmond was definitely one of the vocal leaders there, cheering everybody on, even during the small things, which I think is a show of good senior leadership. The 1-1, good eye by her. She stays away from that one.
Yeah, you're exactly right, John, and you said it's senior leadership. I mean, just because someone's in the 12th grade doesn't necessarily mean they're a good leader. And but she was, like you said, displaying a lot of those qualities, keeping everybody together, organized, and focused and fired up.
A 2-1. It was a quick inning for Greenfield Central back in the first. They went down 1-2-3 with basically 2 pop-outs and 2 fly-outs rather, and a pop-out to the infielder. Actually, I would call that a line-out because that was Bryn Libler making that ridiculous catch down the third base side. The 3-1. Good at bat there by Redmond. Again, that's not something that Eliza Finley has done often. She has a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. That is just her 18th walk of the season. And that brings up Megan Hornaday, senior left fielder. And Hornaday's been on fire lately for the Cougars. She's hitting .457, and she's coming off of a 2-for-3 performance with a run scored and an RBI against Shenandoah. Clearly, Keely Ryan, the catcher for Pendleton Heights, is concerned enough to want to go up and talk to Eliza Finley in the circle. And after the brief conversation, she goes back behind home plate.
And she may have been out there just saying what you just said, John. Hey, this isn't who we are. This isn't what we do. Let's get back to doing what Eliza Finley does.
She missed, but not by much. Gosh, softball season every year just seems like it goes so fast, and here we are coming up on sectional time. And then June 10th and 11th be the state championships at Purdue University. 2 nights of it, Friday and Saturday.
And, of course, it doesn't help the aforementioned kind of very miserable spring where a lot of these conference games have gotten moved. This will be the second of 3 conference games for Pendleton this week.
Cut on and missed.
Certainly not the way you would schedule it if you were the AD, but when you have to get these games in because of rainouts, you don't really have a choice. You end up sometimes you see the replay there. Nice job of just driving the ball past the hitter. Hitter took her eyes off the ball. Can't hit what you can't see.
Makes it 2-2. Really good crowd here, by the way.
Well, the two schools, again, not too far apart. Can't be more than about 15 miles or so between Greenfield and Pendleton, straight up State Road 9.
Also helps to have nice weather. 2-2. Able to just get a piece of it to foul it away.
Yeah, and two very good teams. I mean, if you're Greenfield and you're having a nice season, you're 10-4 and you're competing for a conference championship. Obviously, more people are going to be willing to, like you said, get in the car and move up the road a little bit and watch you play.
Redmond not a huge threat to steal, only has one stolen base. Check swing, did she go around? Yes. Greenfield fans thought she held up, umpire thought she did not. First strikeout for Eliza Finley tonight. One more look at it.
Now batting the designated player.
That last little
Number
move
24,
forward by the bat is what sold the umpire there. Faith Butler, junior designated player, stands in. She's coming off of a 1-for-3 outing against Shenandoah. Batting .368, and the pitch.
Both pitchers so far, John, are doing a good job of staying on the corners or right at the bottom of the zone. Umpire not necessarily giving it to them, so again, if he's going to have a tight strike zone, both pitchers just going to have to adjust a little bit.
The 1-0, fouls it off. She has scored 7 runs this year, 14 hits, 15 runs batted in, 2 doubles, and also has homered 3 times.
I have noticed so far that Greenfield Central hitters seem to be right on Finley. They're fouling a lot of pitches straight back, which means she has to change speeds. So right now they're sitting on the fastball. She's got to be able to move the ball around and change speeds a little bit, get them off balance.
Cut on and missed. Also a lot of fun activity by both dugouts. Hearing a lot of another good pitch there by Finley. That was right down Broadway. The 1-2 got her swinging. So Finley, after having that leadoff walk, has struck out the following 2 batters, giving her 56 K of the season.
39.
Well, if she can get another punch out right here, she will have attained that average you talked about, 3 strikeouts per walk. And so you walk 1, you strike out 3, you do that the whole game, you win, and keep your average.
Lily Stewart is up. 324 batting average. First pitch swinging right over to Bo Shelton, who picks it up and throws her out. So no runs, no hits, no errors, but a runner left on base for Greenfield Central. And we go to the bottom of the second with still no score.
1 runner left on base.
Routine play there for Shelton. Beautiful place, Legends Field. Of course, Pendleton Heights always does a fantastic job hosting us, and looking at the Hoosier Heritage Conference standings. Again, not a whole lot of conference games. You got a ton of overall games, and the team that's in the driver's seat right now, the Shelbyville Golden Bears. So this game tonight, while these 2 teams will likely see each other in the sectional gym, there's some conference bragging rights on the line here too.
Oh, no doubt about it. And this is a fantastic softball conference, has been for quite a while. I know Yorktown has played for a state championship. New Palisades has played for multiple state championships down through the years. Mount Vernon, again, we mentioned how they got to the semi-state last year, losing to the eventual state championships, 1-0 in, I think it was 10 innings. So very competitive softball conference, always a nice feather in your cap if you can win it. But again, then the second season starts. I don't want to call it the real season. This season counts 2, but the second season starts soon. And again, as you saw, like you said, not a lot of conference games on there, and we're just a week or so away from the start of sections. So got to get them in. This is a good week to do it.
Yep. No rain really in the forecast at all until now Sunday for most places across Indiana. Chloe Gregory starts us off here in the bottom of the second. Batters 5, 6, and 7 due up here for Pendleton Heights. Gregory coming off of a really solid game last night, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. She also drove in 3 runs. The 1-0, a little behind it, evens the count up.
Well, this is a murderer's row lineup for Coach Rob Davis. I mean, honestly, everybody's batting over 300, 1 through 9, and you got some of these Yeah, well, I guess there's one hitter under 300, but a couple of them over 400 and one close to 5.
Kind of bounced in the dirt there. Good eye by Chloe Gregory to make it 2-1.
Team batting average 383 for Pendleton Heights coming into the ball game, and again we mentioned that they have 30 home runs on the season.
Gregory with 23 hits, 22 driven in, 6 doubles, and also has homered 5 times.
John, it's nice to have friends in the crowd here. A little warm in his press box here. I saw a friend of mine down there, and I texted him and said, hey, why don't you bring me some beverages? So he did.
You got friends everywhere. That's a shot into left center. Goodbye. That one is out of here. Looked like kind of a line drive shot, but like you have said, Jim, often throughout this softball season, a hitter-friendly park here at Legends Field. And a solo shot by Chloe Gregory to give the Pendleton Heights Arabians an early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, John, I did not think this thing was going out when it was hit. I thought it was going to one-hop the fence, and watch this thing just continues to carry. Just gets over that yellow tubing. How about that? Another home run here at the launching pad.
Now batting second baseman, number 9.
Gives her 6th of the season.
Shelton.
Bo Shelton is next, and Bo, like I said, the team leader in home runs with 7. Maybe we might have back-to-back solo shots here. You never know. That game we did here at Pendleton between Pendleton and Roncalli, we had, I believe it was 6 combined home runs that night. Just an incredible display, and that was between both teams.
Yeah, and again, I've been here for a lot of games. This is a great facility, great press box. Obviously in the heart of the 9-star viewing district, so we do a lot of games here. And yeah, it just seems like there's bombs being hit out of here all the time. Of course, the field is set up kind of facing the northeast, and that's generally the way the wind blows around here, so maybe that's why.
I didn't really see, there has not been much of a wind either. So really, Chloe Gregory did all that on her own. And nice job here by Shelton. Now ahead in the count 3-0 to Madison Herbert. So now Herbert, freshman pitcher, trying to settle herself down after that tough play there. Faith Butler, the one who has most of the pitching experience. Shelton obviously taking all the way there on 3-0.
Yeah, I was a little, was curious there. Coach Davis 3-0, and Shelton is the person that does bat slightly under 300. She's batting 288 with 19 RBIs and 7 home runs. I thought he may turn her loose, but even if he had, she wouldn't have swung at that anyway.
And that one just got way away from Herbert there. And you got to go back and pick that up so it doesn't go even further away from the plate, leading to a potential maybe see Shelton go beyond first base, but Layla Fatelli able to go back and get it. Caitlin Goodwin is next. Sophomore first baseman, hitting .367 this year. 1 for 2 on Monday night. Scored a run, though, and had 4 driven in. First pitch to her. That's playable and probably right to Ella Redmond. And that might be something, Jim, that drives Coach Wade Davis nuts. Swings at the first pitch and quick out.
And and he's talking to her right now. He's coaching her right now, and he's probably saying, look, I don't care if you swing at the first pitch, but it's got to be your favorite pitch. And that can't be your favorite pitch. That pitch was up in the zone. Don't swing at that. I mean, again, I'll give it to you if it's right down the middle and it's your favorite pitch. But come on, have a little more plate discipline than that.
Bryn Libler's up. Throw down to second. She's gone. Layla Fatelli on the money with that throw and gets Shelton. Now, Fatelli, I noticed in pregame warm-ups when she was warming up and throwing the ball to second, trying to practice her throws, she threw the ball into center field more than once. And so for her to be on the money with this throw has to do wonders for her confidence. Close play at second. Say she got the tag down in time, so now there's 2 away. And this whole sequence is probably something that might drive Rob Davis nuts, because here you're in a situation where you get a solo home run, you're up 1-0, you get another runner on, first pitch swinging, quick out, then runner gets caught stealing at second, and you went from having 1 runner on with nobody out to now 2 down.
Well, you run yourself into 2 outs so far. Obviously, the one was Coach called it. I mean, he gave her the steal sign. The other one, I don't know whether he was bringing her from second to third or not. I will tell you this, on the replay, Fatelli kind of double clutched the ball a little bit. I really didn't think she had any chance, but boy, she showed a little bit of some arm strength there to get that ball down.
And accuracy, and Herbert has had some issues with this. This is the second time that she has airmailed a pitch like that high and to the backstop. Now we got Deuces Wild on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. The difference right now, solo home run by Chloe Gregory, putting Pendleton Heights ahead here. Slaps that one foul. Now Pendleton Heights coach Rob Davis wants to say something to the home plate umpire. It is a brief conversation, and we, all right, well, now they're going back.
I'm not sure what he would be asking him. I mean, the strike zone hasn't been that bad. He's been a little tight, but that's been both ways. I mean,
that one driven down the line, but foul again. Most softball teams at this level, you really only see maybe 2 girls with starting pitching experience.
yeah.
And on Greenfield, they've had 3 girls pitch this year, but primarily 2. It's either been Faith Butler or Herbert. And Herbert's 2-2 pitch is upstairs. She's already issued 2 walks tonight. Trying to avoid a third here to keep this inning going.
No, you're right, John, on the pitching. You know, again, if a team does have 4 or 5, it's normally young kids who are just getting mop-up duty at the end of some games.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's ball 4 right there, wasn't it?
No, I had 2-2.
Okay, all right.
Of course, my scorebook's always a mess anyway, so don't ask me.
Well, your scorebook was correct on that one. Not that big of a mess, clearly.
I probably need to just go out on a high note. Good night, everybody. I got one right.
She drives this into shallow left. Almost a collision. In fact, there is one. But Josie White somehow makes the catch. Solid into the inning for Greenfield Central after the solo home run to Chloe Gregory. It's 1-0 Pendleton Heights as we head to the third on 9 Star TV and the ISC Sports Network.
When moving into a new home, we ask ourselves questions like, who is the best internet provider in town? Well, have you considered locally owned 9 Star Connect? We've become the fastest, most reliable, and dedicated fiber-to-the-home internet company in central Indiana. Our internet packages have been modified, and we are changing speeds at a more competitive price. So give us a look. Visit us at 9starconnect.com. 9 Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Who knew that 9 Star Connect, a local smart utility, has the fastest internet in Indiana? 9 Star offers speeds up to 2 gig. That's upload and download speeds. Try getting that from any other provider. No data limits or caps on speed. The speed you pay for is the speed you get. 9 Star has state-of-the-art fiber optics with a dedicated line to each house. 9 Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Who knew?
Back here to start the third inning from Legends Field, Pendleton Heights High School. Pendleton Heights with the 1-0 lead over Greenfield Central. The difference in the game, a Chloe Gregory solo home run, along with Jim Leisure and the rest of the fantastic crew on 9 Star TV and the ISC Sports Network, led by John Painter and Bill McKenna and all of our hardworking camera operators. We're proud to be here and bring you this one from Pendleton on 9 Star TV and the ISC Sports Network. Addison Heron, Layla Fatelli, and then Megan Weiniger. The players due up here for Greenfield Central. Batters 8, 9, and 1 in the order. And Heron moves ahead in the count 1-0. She's coming off of an 0-for-3 performance last Wednesday. Did score a run in that win over Shenandoah, batting .364. Temperature right now, 83 degrees. Not really any wind. The 1-1 from Eliza Finley. On the money. She has 2 strikeouts tonight, 1 walk. able to stay alive. Greenfield Central certainly a lot younger than Pendleton. 4 freshmen in the starting lineup, and Heron's one of them, Jim.
Yeah, and, again, if things stay the way they are, who knows? I mean, 3 years from now, Greenfield may be the team that with 7 seniors in the lineup and the one, vying for a conference championship and sectional dominance as well. You never know. Greenfield's had some good cuts. Fouled a lot of pitches back, and I mean fouled them back hard. They're just missing.
And Heron being a pest right now to Eliza Finley. Both teams playing well right now. Greenfield Central's won 3 in a row. Pendleton Heights 5 in a row. So unfortunately for one of these two teams, a winning streak coming to an end this evening. That one foul tipped into the glove of Keely Ryan for the 3rd strikeout tonight for Eliza Finley. Layla Fatelli comes up next.
Really good job there by the senior catcher, Kylie Ryan, behind the plate. Always important to squeeze those if you can. You've called enough baseball and softball games in your career to know that a lot of times if they can't hold on to that foul tip, it becomes a foul ball. Next pitch, hitter gets a base hit or whatever. So always important to squeeze those foul tips if you can.
And that's not easy because as Fatelli dribbles out right up the middle, and easy play for Finley.
No, it's not easy at all. And again, but again, that's experience, a good senior catcher is going to just basically soften the glove, let the hand kind of basically go a little limp here. You're going to see this ground ball. This is the ground ball equivalent of a can of corn to the outfield. Pretty easy play.
Back to the top of the order with Megan Weiniger. She hit a line shot to third base back in the 1st inning. And Bryn Libler, really, I think that was more of a great play by Libler than it was, maybe a missed opportunity by Weiniger. I mean, you hit a ball that hard, you think it's going to go over the third baseman's head, and you might have an extra base hit, instead one away.
Yeah, and if you're Weiniger, you just got to remind yourself, hey, listen, I'm hitting it hard. I just happen to hit it right at a person who made a great play. Don't change anything.
And clearly don't change the way you're viewing the pitches, because she has had a good eye on these first 2.
So up 2-0, she's looking for a pitch in a certain area. This is a great pitch to hit, but she's looking for her favorite pitch now, whether that's inner half, outer half, whatever. And if she doesn't get it, she don't swing. But she gets it, she takes a rip at it. She took a rip at it, and she just missed it.
I think that ball landed near our crowd, Mike.
Sounded like it. I'll tell you. One of the things that, again, I've noticed about Greenfield, that's about the 6th or 7th hitter that's just missed. I mean, they're fouling these balls straight back, and they're smoked. You got to work on some eye contact drills as far as I'm concerned. Maybe the old plastic golf balls with the broomstick, something where you're seeing the ball the last 2 feet and really making good squared-up contact.
Almost like she wanted to fake a bunt try. There's sort of a –
Well, she had an idea.
And they called it that. They said she tried to bunt with 2 outs, and it went foul. So that is a
strikeout.
That is a strikeout and the end of the inning. Yeah, because see here, she does try to bunt it, and it went foul. So that is not something you see very often, but that is what happens here, and it ends up being a strikeout for Eliza Finley, her 4th one of the night, as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. For Pendleton Heights, they send up batters 9, 1, and 2 in this bottom of the 3rd. Lily Koffel, then we go back to the top of the order with Kaya Hubble and Haley Brunnemer. And here is a look at that 4A Sectional 9 bracket. Anderson and Muncie Central getting the bye. Pendleton Heights gets to square off with Richmond first. So, and then Greenfield Central is playing Mount Vernon, the team that Pendleton Heights just dispatched of earlier this week on Monday. So what do you make of that bracket, Jim?
Well, again, it's normally because of just, again, the proximity of these teams. It's kind of a Hoosier Heritage Conference sectional. Throw in Richmond, Anderson, and Muncie. It doesn't matter if it's basketball, baseball, softball, sometimes even football. New Palestine, a Hoosier Heritage foe and a good team. Luckily for the teams in that sectional, goes into Marion County. They play more of a Franklin Central, Roncalli, Whiteland type of sectional. So, very competitive, but it's generally the Hoosier Heritage at Anderson, at Richmond, at Muncie Central.
One gets away there from Herbert, 1-0. Of course, Pendleton Heights has another matchup coming up with New Palestine. That is on May 12th, so that is on Tuesday night. This upcoming Thursday, so that'll be a game that we've got.
That is true.
That one swings and lands right in front of Morgan Hornaday for a base hit for Lily Koffel. Koffel batting .350 on the year, and that just improved that. And her assistant coach, Haley Cox, on first base, loving every minute of that.
Well, you always want to see some production out of your bottom part of the lineup, the 7, 8, 9. So Coach Davis thrilled that Lily Koffel was able to get a base hit.
And a strike called to Kaya Hubble, who singled, then stole a base, but then was caught in a rundown in the first inning.
And again, I'm sure Coach Davis and his staff have told the ladies, all right, look, we've seen this pitcher. We're getting ready to come around for the second time.
Bunt try, charging, Redmond to first, and she beat it. And that is not a good sign there for Greenfield Central. Lily Stewart is down, and both runners move up a base. And that is tough. There might have been some contact on the
Yeah, there clearly was contact, John, and I don't know if the umpire felt she beat it or the ball rolls out after the contact, so we'll see how they score it or how he saw it, I guess. We'll get it on the replay here.
Yeah, she clearly beats the throw and might have gotten part of her hand on the glove. And either way, that's not an easy thing to deal with because you're trying to make a play at first base and your arm gets twisted in an awkward way.
Great camera work there on the replay and even kind of the slow motion. Good work there, but I think she's going to be okay. And in a really neat show of sportsmanship.
Yep, everybody was down on one knee.
Yeah, Kaya Hubble actually comes back from second base to go over and say, hey, man, no harm, right? It's just one of those deals, just to play. Runners at second, third, nobody out nonetheless.
I think it goes down as a single, and then
just took the base on the I got to score a single.
That brings up Haley Brunnemer. Then Brunnemer tonight popped out to second in the first. The pitch, and Brunnemer sends this one into deep center. That stays in the park, but it's off the wall. Scores one for sure. And play at the plate, the throw offline. 2 runs come across, and Pendleton Heights increases their lead to 3-0. RBI double for Haley Brunnemer.
Well, we're going to see on the replay here, and if I was coaching, what I would have liked to have seen out of the runner on second base, Kaya Hubble, was maybe just take a couple more shuffle steps. I don't think there was any chance for the center fielder to get that ball. She ended up making that play at the plate a little bit closer than it needed to be. Olivia Roberts there in center for Greenfield Central. Picks it up, makes it in, gets the ball in, and then there again, there's no play at the plate. We hesitate.
And a swing and a drive to center. Nice play by Roberts in center field to make that catch as Caroline DeRolf goes down. And if she would have gotten that ball a little bit deeper, you might have been able to see a opportunity for Brunnemer to move up a base, but because Roberts makes an incredible catch here and gets it back in quickly, not much room to work with. Keely Ryan is up.
Well, John, normally I put a little star by the good defensive play. That's the third star I've given today. I don't normally get 3 in a game.
Your grading system's tough.
Well, you got
not easy to get a Jim
Bryn
Leisure
Livler's
star.
opening drive there, and then the second baseman in foul territory. Weiniger fires the ball to third to get an out, and then you got to give it up to Olivia Roberts there. Hopefully her parents are subscribers to 9 Star. They can watch that over and over.
Chopper gets through. Play by Hornaday. She gets it back in quickly. But a single by Ryan, the third hit of this inning, and also putting on close to 4 runs now, if you can get this run across. Courtesy runner coming on at first base for Pendleton Heights. Kinsey Green
And look who's batting, John.
Chloe Gregory.
Last time up, she hit one out of this place. So, again, she's looking for the same kind of pitch. And Madison Herbert, of course, is looking to avoid such a fate.
Correction, 4th hit in the inning, so 6 for the game for Pendleton Heights. Pitch is a strike, throw to second base, runner goes out. Layla Fatelli on the money tonight with these throws. That's the second runner that she has thrown out for Greenfield Central. This time it's Keely Ryan she gets.
You're going to see the replay here, and she just comes up firing that time, no hesitation. Ball beats her. Nice job by Greenfield to fake the play at the plate. First and third situations, defensively you have 3 or 4 options. 1, you can just forget it, give the base up. 2, you can throw it, have the second baseman or shortstop cut it off, throw back home, try to cut down the runner. 3, you can throw through and get the out at second. They did that.
The 1-1 to Gregory. Gregory with a drive. Shallow center. Another nice play by Olivia Roberts to end the inning. Diving attempt made. Could have been worse than the 2 runs that Pendleton Heights got, but they did, and they lead 3-0 as we head to the 4th on 9 Star TV and the ISC Sports Network.
3 to 0.
3, 2, 1.
As the first dunk in the building from Joya. Waits, Waddell finishes. There is right now the play of the game. Better finish. We might see it on plays of the week. Great feed. The finish. Spin. Win. 3. Bury it. Lane. No. Gun. Yes. Whoa. What a play. Flying in.
Here we go. 585 954. 585 954.
Back here at Legends Field.
From the concession stand.
Pendleton Heights, want to clarify one thing that happened back in that inning. A lot of it happened. A lot of crazy stuff. 2 runs on 4 hits came across. It was one of the
third out of the inning there,
This is the last play where Olivia Roberts makes a diving catch to end the inning. Again, that could have been a lot worse for Greenfield Central. They did already give up 2 runs in that inning on 4 hits. They did have one play that was an error, a slight injury to Lily Stewart, the first baseman. So since even though she got knocked down on that play, because the runners advanced to base and the ball came out of her glove, it is considered an E3 or an error on her. But still, even though it's ruled that way in the scoring column, I think that doesn't always provide the easiest context.
Yeah, it's not necessarily fair, but it's the only way you can score that. They advanced to base, or it wasn't an errant throw.
And that one hit right back to Eliza Finley from Josie White. And a very quick 1-3 put out here to start off the top of the 4th inning. And that's one thing that Coach Jason Stewart of Greenfield Central is probably a little frustrated about. 2 of his last 3 batters have hit into 1-3 putouts swinging at the first pitch.
Well, going back and recreating the last half of that last inning for Pendleton would have been a huge inning if Olivia Roberts in center.
That one powered down the left field line. It goes out, but it was foul.
Yeah. But 2 great plays at center field by Olivia Roberts. Otherwise, Pendleton's probably still batting, and they got 4 or 5 runs in.
Yep, and Roberts is up at the plate right now, so she has a chance to make a big difference. And one thing I've noticed about her trends, Jim, she flew out to left in her first at bat here. She is 0 for her last 3, but she is batting .405 on the season.
Not a real big kid. She's got 3 home runs, but and she turned on that one and like you said, hit it out. Just unfortunately for her on the other side of the wrong side of the fair foul pole.
And she immediately knew she shouldn't have swung at that.
Great pitch.
That was nasty from Eliza Finley, 0-2.
Yeah, just a great changeup, and she clearly just hit the ball out of the ballpark. So she's on to you. So you change speeds.
0-2, puts this one in play. Nice grab by Libler, and Libler's made a couple of gems over at third base this evening. 2 away.
I'll give her a star, John.
If 2 stars you've given her now?
Yeah. Just get well, and the center fielder for Greenfield's got 2 as well. Nice play. Go as far as you can. Again, you saw the angles there. Great camera work. Had she not gotten it, the shortstop was going deeper, but at the same angle. She would have possibly had a play always tell your corner people, first baseman, third baseman, go get every ball you can.
Ella Redmond is up. Redmond drives this into center, and that is one of the fastest innings of softball you will ever see. 3 up, 3 down, and we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's Pendleton Heights ahead, 3-0. I mean, Redmond did get a good piece of it, but just right to the center fielder. So for Pendleton Heights in this bottom of the 4th, they've got batters 6, 7, and 8 due up. Bo Shelton, Caitlin Goodwin, and Bryn Libler. Routine play there for Haley Brunemer. If you're Madison Herbert here, Jim, you know, yes, you're down 3-0. Yes, you've given up 6 runs on 3 hits, but you've also had some good moments as well. What do you try to focus on if you're her in this situation?
Well, again, the biggest thing is knowing where you're at in the batting lineup. I mean, you're not facing 1, 2, 3 here. Let's see, Shelton is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're looking 6, 7, 8. You're just saying, look, I'm throwing 6, 7, 8. I need to hit my spots, and I need to get out of this inning before the top of the batting order rolls through. Maybe one kid gets on, I can pitch to 9, but that's your goal. You want to be able to get out of this inning before the top of the lineup rolls back around. Because if you don't, if 2 or 3 of these young ladies get on base, now you got to face that murderer's row of Hubble. Yeah, Hubble, Brunnemer, DeRolf, and Ryan, and you don't want that. If you want to face those guys, you want to do it when the bases are empty, not when they're juiced. She's not pitching badly. I mean, for a freshman, she's doing fantastic.
The pitch, low and inside to Bo Shelton. Shelton walked back in the 2nd, then was caught stealing.
Now you look at what she's doing there. She looks over in the dugout, gets the sign from the coach. So the coach was calling that pitch. That last one was a changeup.
And that hit her helmet. Wow, we could hear that up here. When Herbert has kind of lost a little bit of her control, it's been high and either inside or high and outside. And Bo Shelton's like, I don't mind that. Gets me on base.
Yeah, the home plate umpire looks down at her and says, are you okay? And she goes, what? What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm feeling great. Yeah, I'm on base here.
She's like, I'm good. How are you? He's like, I'm all right. Well, let's play then.
I didn't just get it. You know, I'm not the one that just got hit, though.
Exactly.
And brings up Caitlin Goodwin.
Well, John, you talked about those 3 or 4 or 5 times that Herbert has just kind of lost a pitch and sailed it over the hitter's head or all the way to the screen. I got to believe it's a pitch that she's trying a new grip on, or she's trying a new pitch, and she just simply has not mastered that grip, hasn't mastered that release point yet.
One and one. That's the 8th time this season that Herbert has hit an opposing batter. 1-1, runner goes, hit into the gap and gets through for a base hit and then gets by Addison Heron to the wall. So single on the base hit, then the error will be charged to the right fielder, Addison Heron. That ends up scoring a run, and it's 4-0 Arabians.
Well, one of those deals there, you see the ball get through there, and then I don't know if you're going to see the runner on second base here, but once she needs to be looking at the coach. She had already stopped. She had come to a dead stop, and it didn't matter. She scored anyway. But we're talking about, getting better. We're talking about doing things, running the bases, perfectly if you can, because it may not matter in this game, but it might in the sectional championship or the regional championship or whatever.
Second error of the night defensively on Greenfield Central brings up Bryn Libler, who pops up right to Josie White over at short. First out of the inning.
Well, again, you always hear me harping on as you see the replay there. Just kind of got under a little bit. Production from the bottom of your order. If you can get the 9 spot here, Lily Koffel, to knock in a run, how big is that? And then you got 1, 2, 3 coming up with just 1 out. Exact scenario that we talked about, Herbert wanting to avoid.
And Lily Koffel started off the 3rd inning with that single, and that's what really began the rally for the Arabians. Shows bunt, backs off, ends up getting a strike call. Runner on third is Caitlin Goodwin. Goodwin tonight 1 for 2. She's now 2 for her last 4. Has had a good start to this week. Pendleton Heights does not have an easy schedule, do they?
No, they don't. and that's, again, by design. If you remember when we called the Roncalli Pendleton game, that game was like last minute.
Yep. And that was Rob Davis. I remember I was sitting in the dugout watching Rob Davis have a chat with David Lauk, the head coach at Roncalli. Of course, they go way back. They've known each other a long time. And, you know, Davis is like, I'm not afraid to schedule you, Lauk. He's like, well, I'm not afraid to come play. I mean,
great play.
Of course, they've known each other for so long. They're going to give each other some playful grief. And that one chopped right over. Nice play by Redmond. Overthrows the ball, though, to first base. She did the right thing on the fielding part, but then the throw was errant. And that sends Koffel to second base. That scores Goodwin from third. So again, single for Koffel, but then the error on the throw by Redmond puts Koffel at second base, an E5.
Yeah, she does a nice job of looking the runner back at third base. Great replay again, great camera work by our crew. And honestly, she should have just ate it. There was no chance to get that runner at first base, and I'd rather play first and third, you know, with one out than play what you got now.
And then the frustrating part is, Jim, like you mentioned, you wanted to get through the order and try to not, you know, if you were Herbert, not have to go back to the top of the order. And that's exactly what Pendleton Heights has to do here, or, you know, Greenfield has to do against Pendleton Heights. Pendleton back with Kaya Hubble. She's 2 for 2 tonight with a run scored.
You see the runner on second base there, Lily Koffel, kind of giving some signals to the hitter of pitch location there. Now, again, got to be careful doing that stuff. I mean, it's not illegal, but their teams don't like it.
Ripped hard. That one gets through for a base hit. Scooped up by Addison Heron. And runner scores. That's an RBI single for Kaya Hubble. Scores Lily Koffel.
Well, this is what Coach Davis was hoping. I guarantee you, again, he talked to him in the third inning about, hey, this is our second time through the lineup. Well, now we're going through a third time, and he wants to see some production. That ball's hit hard. Yes, it got underneath the glove of the first baseman, but it's clearly a base hit. She had no shot. Good job of getting the ball inside, or getting the ball back into the infield by Addison Heron, the right fielder, to the cutoff person so that no other runners could advance.
And Madison Herbert just left the game, so we are on the verge of having a new Greenfield Central pitcher. Again, there's only been 3 pitchers this season for Greenfield that have had experience. Herbert, one of them, the other one being Faith Butler, and the third one being one player who does not have a ton of experience, and that being McKenna Rankins, who is a freshman. But he is putting Faith Butler back in to pitch here. And look at Butler's numbers on the season. Take a look at her numbers.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see her down there warming up. She was not in the ball game. I suppose it's possible. We have a very clear shot of both bullpens here, but I did not see her warming up, so I hope she had an opportunity to get down there and at least get loose.
Well, she started the game out as the designated player, has struck out in this game once, so she probably had to know at some point that this could happen. Yeah. And she comes in the 4th inning, getting ready to face the second batter in the Pendleton order in Haley Brunnemer, who is 1 for 2 with 2 runs batted in this game. Now, keep in mind, though, Madison Herbert is responsible for the runner on first, that being Kaya Hubble.
Now batting to the Lady Radiants, number
Here comes 2, 3, 4.
Runnemer,
DeRolf, and Ryan.
Runnemer.
They only bat, 429, 552, and 387. No big deal.
And Brunnemer nearly gets hit by that first pitch from Faith Butler.
If you're Pendleton, again, knowing that you've got another conference game coming up on Thursday, you'd love to get to 10 runs.
That one smashed through for a base hit. Charging on Hornaday. Throw. Could be a play at third. Runner safe. Kaya Hubble gets in there. Single by Brennemer puts her at 2 for 3 tonight.
Well, just excellent base running here, and you're going to see it by Hubble. She just comes around and I love it. She even looked at the coach. John, I'm tearing up here. He was waving her around. Great job, but she had the play right in front of her. But just a real good job of about 15 feet before she got to second. She glanced over Coach Davis, who had the old arm going, and she hit the corner of the bag and never slowed down. If you hesitate there, you could get it. That's where you make yourself out, is when you hesitate. She hit that second base bag, the inside corner, the closest corner to third, downhill, never slowed down.
The pitch on the 1-0. That is through, and this is just what Pendleton Heights has done so many times throughout the season to so many teams. Wear you down, and they can have that 1 or 2 innings with that offensive explosion, and we're seeing that here. Caroline DeRolf hitting that one through for a base knock, puts runners on first and second. Keely Ryan coming up.
Now running at first base, number 24, Kylie Fisher.
Well, second straight inning for Pendleton with 4 base hits, and the inning's not over.
Kylie Fisher comes in to run at first base now for DeRolf. And Keely Ryan is up. Now keep in mind, if Pendleton Heights is able to get to 10 runs here, and they could and hold Greenfield Central scoreless in the top of the 5th, they can end this game early via the run rule.
And again, I got to believe that's at least in the back of Coach Davis's mind as they play another conference game Thursday. So why, if you can,
you can try to get this game over.
Yeah, absolutely, and save 2 innings of pitching.
Yep, save 2 innings of pitching, limit the chances for injury.
Yep.
Pendleton Heights opening up sectional play against Richmond. They have not played Richmond this year. Greenfield Central opening up sectional play against Mount Vernon. And Greenfield Central played Mount Vernon back on April 29th, beat them that night 3-0. In fact, that was the win for the Cougars that started their 3-game winning streak that they're on now. The 1-1 upstairs.
Well, she tried to change the eye level a little bit and just left it up there.
Here's how this inning started. It got started with a hit by pitch on Bo Shelton, then a single by Caitlin Goodwin, an error in right field by Addison Herron. Allowed the runners to advance. A pop-up, and that one is hit into left and out. So Ryan flies out to left, making it 2 down in the inning. And that brings up Chloe Gregory. So we have seen the entire order for Pendleton Heights in this 4th inning. Good job by Hornaday tracking that one down.
Chloe Gregory.
Gregory, of course, 1 for 2 tonight with a solo home run, which she hit back in the 2nd.
Well, you got to be careful here. You certainly don't want to make a mistake and leave the ball out over the center of the plate.
And that one gets way away from Butler, rolls to the wall, runners advance. Brennemer to third, DeRolf to second. Makes the count 1-0.
And it kind of goes without saying you don't want that either. But yeah, if you leave one over the center plate here, I mean, it's going to be another at least 2 runs in, maybe 3.
I think that's what Faith Butler's got to be thinking. She's been up and in on these last couple pitches.
So again, 2-0. Absolute green light. Hitters are looking for the pitch in a certain spot. If they get it, the hands explode.
She ends up liking that pitch and fouling it off.
And then again, if you're a young hitter out there watching, listening, if you don't get it in your zone, then don't swing at it. If they call it a strike, you're still up 2-1. Don't swing at pitchers' pitches. All you do is ground out weakly. Find something. You're going to see your favorite pitch in the average at bat 1 time. When you see it, bust it.
Well, she liked that, but fouled it off, and it goes right into the Pendleton Heights dugout.
That was a good pitch there by Butler. In on the hands, had some late movement. I mean, again, that the final result of that pitch was not what she wanted. And again, the ball tailed in on her hands. That was a pitcher's pitch.
2-2. Good eye by Gregory. So now we got a payoff here. Full count, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. 7-0 Pendleton Heights. They have scored 4 in the bottom of the 4th.
And if I'm Faith Butler, I don't go anywhere close to the plate. First base open. She might have swung at ball 4 there. Ball goes up and in. Yeah, I mean, again, you got first base open, and I just, man, she's such a dangerous hitter. I just can't give anything up.
Of course, you got to deal with Bo Shelton next if she gets on. It's like she heard you, Jim.
Well,
26th walk issued this season by Butler. We are now back to where we started this inning off with Bo Shelton. The bases loaded for her.
well, this would be a huge spot for Bo to pick something up here. Anything. You know, there's 2 outs, so anything hit, we're moving. Runners are moving. Don't have to worry about line drives.
She's been hit by a pitch and walked. Hit over to short. Josie White bobbles it. Thought she might be able to pick it up and have a play somewhere. Did not. And that allows Brunnemer to come home and score on an E6. Well, Greenfield Central played a very good defensive game through the first 2 innings, and they have committed now 4 errors in these last 2.
Well, again, there's games certainly where you can commit 3 or 4 errors and not come back to hurt you, but not against good teams like Pendleton. Pendleton's pretty good. I'm telling you, John, they have a chance. So if they end up playing for a regional championship or a semi-state championship, you're going to look back and say, that guy's not as dumb as he looks.
And the first pitch inside to Caitlin Goodwin. She singled and was able to advance on an error. Later came around to score in the 4th.
Caitlin came into the ballgame batting .367, 4 long balls, 18 RBIs. She'd love to get 2 more right here.
Pitch upstairs for ball 2. If you hear me scream, that's because one of the world's most giant wasps just flew in here.
I see him. Just ignore him. He ain't bothering you.
No, not yet.
You're not allergic, are you?
Nope.
Good, because
nope.
my CPR skills aren't what they used to be.
Well, that's comforting.
3-0 here. I got to believe she's taken. I can't imagine Coach Davis.
Hey, listen, at least it's not a snake.
Well,
I'm like Indiana Jones when it comes to snakes.
I'm not a big fan
No,
of snakes.
thank you.
I'm sure there's a reason for snakes, but I can't think of one.
There is, and the reason is they can stay away from me. 3-0, ball 4.
Well, an RBI the easy way.
That is right. So if you're up at the plate and bases are loaded and you draw a walk, you get credit for an RBI. So Goodwin gets that, and that makes it 9-0. Bryn Libler comes up, and Libler has popped up to short both times tonight. So here's what's at stake now. If Pendleton Heights can get a base hit here and they hold Greenfield Central scoreless in the top of the 5th, they can end this game early. It's also that one hit up, and then Butler with an awkward throw able to get it there. So that takes care of the bottom of this 4th, and it's 9-0. Pendleton Heights over Greenfield Central. Back in a moment on 9 Star TV and the ISC Sports Network.
At 9 Star Connect, our history spans back to the late 1800s, where family time, building livelihoods and neighborhoods, sharing stories of the day, and looking forward to chasing new dreams were important to all of us. Today, 9 Star still values these things. That's why we have a local 24/7, 365 support center. We are still here for you, as it's been for the past 125 years. At 9 Star Connect, we're a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
My name is Patty Potty, and I'd like to talk to you about all those kinds of convenience products. People are flushing down the toilet, clogging up our sewer system, and causing expensive repair bills. They might flush down, but they sure don't flush out. Make sure you trash them. Don't flush them, only flush the 3 P's. Pee, poo, and paper. Toilet paper, that is. And remember, no wipes in those pipes.
This important message was brought to you by 9 Star Connect, your water and sewer provider.
Looking at head coach Jason Stewart for Greenfield Central. His team was hanging tough through the first couple of innings of this game, and things have just gotten away from them the last 2 innings, and it's Pendleton Heights leading 9-0. So, Jim, if you are Jason Stewart, what are you trying to tell your Greenfield Central Ball Club right now?
Well, again, this has obviously not turned out quite the way they wanted it to, but hats off to Coach Stewart, because I will tell you that winning varsity games in any sport is hard. Winning is hard. I mean, parents will tell you it's easy and how come we're not undefeated every year, but beating good teams is difficult to do. They are 10-4, so I mean that's a feather in his cap. This one not going their way, but they got to be able to find a way to maybe scratch a couple across and keep this thing alive.
Batters 5, 6, and 7 due up here in this inning for Greenfield Central. Morgan Hornaday, Faith Butler, and Lily Stewart. Faith Butler went from being the designated player to the pitcher as she had to come in and replace Madison Herbert. In that inning, we had a grand total of 6 runs scored. 5 hits, there were 3 errors, and 3 runners left on base. So Pendleton Heights did leave them loaded. Hornaday is 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout. But she is also 2 for her last 4. That one's swinging a drive, and that is out of play, foul.
After this batter, we're going to have a drawing for a softball, so get the tickets out.
So Greenfield Central, their next game, they have a fast turnaround. They got to play Lawrence Central on Thursday night. That game will be back at home for them. Then they have Columbus East on Saturday. It's going to be a mad dash to the end of the season, May 20th, to try to get these games all in. The 1-2. That is foul.
Well, and of course, one of the many, many differences between IHSAA play and travel ball and things is that no games on Sunday. I mean, it's just not going to happen. I did see something recently at an IHSAA meeting where they were talking about maybe playing like regional or tournament games on Sunday if necessary. The IHSAA would really rather stay off Sunday.
That one is driven into center field, and that ball's gone. Morgan Hornaday blasts a solo shot to center. And that breaks up what was a no-hitter. Up until that point, not only had Eliza Finley not given up a hit, she had not given up a run either. And Hornaday towers that one out of here.
Well, nice job there. She just squares this thing up. We talked earlier in the ball game how Greenfield had not really barreled anything up. Everything was just off, the plate and just off center, basically, as you see Haley Brunnemer giving it all she could there. But the ball rolls back in, kind of a la Wrigley Field. Somebody chucked it back in from the bleachers there. But, yeah, that ball's gone and just finally barreled one up, got it to go. And, again, you asked about Coach Stewart. I'm sure that he's saying this is great. Let's battle. We may not win, but let's battle.
Now you got Faith Butler coming up. She bloops this one high in the air. Diving attempt made by Chloe Gregory, and she makes that. One away.
Yes, sir. Fantastic play there. We're giving stars to everybody's got a star tonight but me. Of course, I don't really do much. Sit here and drink pop and make silly comments. You're going to see the replay.
Lily Stewart.
Nice job. Nice job.
I think she definitely earned a Jim Leisure star.
All right.
Lily Stewart is up. She grounded out to second in her last at bat. She's 0 for 1. 0 for her last 4. Going to turn things around here. But she is hitting .324 on the season. Also good to see her back up. Okay. Megan Weiniger, I think, was covering first base when it was Weiniger who got banged up earlier in the game on a crazy play at first base.
2-0 here, and I was going to say, it wouldn't surprise me to see Finley kind of walk off the rubber and just kind of refocus here a little bit, and that's exactly what she did. She walked back out of the circle, did a little gardening there with her spikes, and then she's ready to go.
Right on the money there from Finley. Typically see a fastball on 2-0 counts, Jim?
Well, again, on 9-1 leads, you might. I mean, go ahead and just let's get back to the basics. I'm up 9-1. What are you gonna do? Hit a bases empty grand slam? So, yeah, I mean, I see fastball there.
2-1. Good night tonight for Finley so far. 4 strikeouts. She does have 1 walk, and she did have a no-hitter through 4.
Now, I could see her changing things up here, you know. She just blew one past her, but she had a nice cut at it. So you may want to change something, either location or height of the pitch.
2-2. Good job by Stewart battling here. Greenfield Central as a team got their 17th home run with that blast. Pendleton Heights has hit almost twice the amount of home runs as Greenfield Central. The payoff got her to go down swinging.
You know, speaking of Finley too, John, I mean, I know she had the no-hitter, and she's got, like you said, I guess what's that, the fifth or sixth? Fifth K.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen her a lot, and this is not her best stuff, but that's okay. I mean, you hear pitchers, whether it's baseball or softball, talk all the time about you gotta find a way to win even when you don't have your best stuff.
Now batting for the Cougars, number 28, Ellie Ewald.
Ellie Ewald is coming in to pinch hit. She's pinch hitting in the spot that Addison Herron would be hitting in. Ewald, one of the seniors on this Greenfield Central squad, and also this season she is hitting right around 300. First pitch to her. Almost foul tipped into the glove there. 0-1. So Pendleton Heights, by the way, they will have batters 9, 1, and 2 due up in the fifth. Lily Koffel, Kaya Hubble, and Haley Brennemer. And all of those batters have had at least 2 hits tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say, honestly, I think Lily Koffel is really she's really another leadoff hitter that just happens to bat ninth.
Foul. Puts it down at 0-2, and Greenfield Central down to their last strike.
Well, you know, and talked to a second ago there, that pitch came in, Ewald foul tipped it into the glove, but then it got loose, so then it becomes a foul ball. Had the catcher been able to squeeze it, it remains live, and the runners could advance. Of course, there aren't any runners, but what's the difference between a foul tip and a foul ball? I get asked that question a lot.
Finley, I think, tried to get her to chase one. She did not.
A foul ball is a dead ball, and runners cannot advance. A foul tip remains live, and that is when it goes directly from the bat to the catcher's glove without hitting any other piece of equipment, and runners can advance. It is a live ball.
1-2. Got her to go down swinging. That is K number 6. Finley continues to deal. I think she was pretty angry, Jim, about that home run. Because, I mean, she had a fire in her eyes after that, because right after she gave up that solo home run to Morgan Hornaday, pop up to short, and then back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. Coach Rob Davis now having a talk with the home plate umpire. We're heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. And again, you heard us mention this before, but our next broadcast on 9-Star TV and the ISC Sports Network, Pendleton Heights and New Palestine coming up this Thursday. First pitch at 5:30. Of course, you can get us on YouTube at 9-Star Films. That's where you can watch the live stream. Also, ISCSportsNetwork.com. 9-Star Channel 9, just so many great places to watch, and that's going to be, I think, a doozy of a matchup. It always is whenever those two teams play, and it's Jim and I back at it for that one. We're excited to bring that one to you.
Well, John, I do have to warn you, being a graduate of New Palestine High School, the statue of me that normally sits out in front of the school in honor of my athletic prowess is out for cleaning. So when you get into the parking lot, you will not see the statue that I've promised you in the past would be there. So don't be disappointed.
You know, that's funny. You keep promising me that there's this statue, and I'm now convinced that it is a phantom statue.
Well, all right. Let's just look. My family donated a lot of money, to build this thing.
You thought you could pay for a statue and get it.
And Al Cooper, the athletic director, just simply refuses to commission the build. So
Sydney Clark, a pinch hitter, stepping in for Lily Koffel. So, okay, well, we've started to see some pinch hitters for Greenfield Central. Might start to see that for New Palestine, Pendleton Heights. By the way, New Palestine is 13-3 coming into tonight. I believe they have a game, as do a lot of people.
I was going to say, I bet everybody is playing 5 games this week because of the weather and all those rainouts.
Yep, and they are playing Connorsville tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how they do in that game because Connorsville came into tonight 17-2.
And one of the losses was a great game to Pendleton. Ended up 5-3. Pendleton won.
Fouled off by Clark.
But I believe Coach Rubel is the coach down there. He's got a couple daughters on the team. And, again, you talk about turning a program around. You're going to see this replay here. She's kind of banged it off her foot. Hit her still in the box, so obviously a foul ball. But Connorsville, no longer, a doormat.
And that one gets through. Layla Fatelli. And also, keep in mind, too, that Sydney Clark, another one that just more depth to this Pendleton Heights roster. She averages .471. She's also homered once, driven in 7. 8 hits on the season. Line shot, though, by her right to Josie White at short. 1 away.
Well, she got the pitch she wanted, and she was able to put a good barrel on it, but unfortunately just you hear it all the time, the Adams. What's an Adam? Well, he hit it right at him. You never heard that? You never heard of Adam ball?
No.
That's an Adam ball. What do you mean Adam?
I thought you were going to give me like a science experiment or some sort of lecture about that.
Hit it right at him.
Kaya Hubble, first pitch swinging into left. 2 down. Haley Brunnemer tries to keep the inning alive. Hubble was 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored before that at bat.
Perfectly played by the left fielder there, Morgan Hornaday. She's just, again, left-handed hitter, so she's going to play in a little bit, figuring that the hitter's probably not going to drive the ball over her head. And she pops it up, and she's right there, barely had to move.
We go back now to Brunnemer to try to keep this alive. She is 2 for 3 with a run scored, has also driven in 2 in this game. The pitch almost hit her in the leg. Unless Pendleton Heights ends this game early, we will go to the 6th inning. If we do, it's batters 9, 1, and 2 due up for Greenfield Central. Of course, Pendleton Heights entered tonight a half game behind Greenfield Central in the conference standings as that one is hit over the head of Robertson to the wall. But Roberts again with a nice relay throw to get it back in. Double for Brunnemer, her second of the game. First hit in this inning.
Well, this is the toughest ball for a center fielder to have. It's the line drive, and it's coming right at you, right in your living room. What are you going to do? Well, unfortunately for Greenfield, the center fielder, Olivia Roberts, who has made 2 really good plays today, decided to take 2 steps in. Bad mistake. You coach center fielders, if you on a line drive, sit. Just stay there. Don't move until you've lined it up. You can always come in late, and if you don't take 2 steps in, then the ball doesn't sail over your head by about a glove's length, which is what it did. Don't ever come in on a line drive to center field. Stop, sit, wait, react.
Caroline DeRolf takes strike 1. She is 1 for 2 with a walk in this game. She's also driven in 1. Now she's quickly behind 0-2 in the blink of an eye.
Boy, she had a big old cut there. That was one of those deals where, and hitters do it all the time, where they're like, okay, if you let go of it anywhere near the plate, I'm swinging. I don't care where it is.
That time I think she made up her mind she was taking the whole way and did.
Well, and Butler decided to throw a little change up there because, again, she had that big Ruthian cut. And she's like, okay, you want to swing at something? Swing at this thing.
Ends up hitting it in play. Throw to first. Faith Butler able to get her and retire DeRolf to end the inning. But still a 9-1 lead for Pendleton Heights. We send you to break with this last play by Butler on 9 Star TV and the ISC Sports Network.
We are really heavily involved in the community, so there are multiple different volunteer opportunities that we can go and do.
Volunteer time to share their time and talents with organizations that need not only monetary assistance, but just people's time to help those organizations grow and thrive.
9 Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Nine Star is very focused on customer and member care, focused on making sure that however we communicate with the member and customer is how they want to communicate.
You know, sometimes we're the one person that they speak to in a day, and you want that conversation to be happy and pleasant.
As a nonprofit co-op, we're focused on providing the best service we can for our members.
9 Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Been all Pendleton Heights really since about the third inning. That's when they increased their lead to 3-0, and then the big difference in the game right now is the 6-run fourth inning where Pendleton Heights opened it up, made it 9-0 before a solo home run by Morgan Hornaday for Greenfield Central in the fifth, put us at 9-1. So Greenfield Central really up against it. They're running out of time, down to 6 outs in this one. Layla Fatelli is up, and Layla, you knew she was probably going to do a little more taking on this at bat, because in her first at bat tonight, she swung on the first pitch and grounded right back to Eliza Finley, who threw her out at first. Fatelli, a freshman catcher, hitting .188 on the season. Batting ninth in the order. That one hit foul and back to the net, evening the count up. Wind picking up a little bit, blowing out to left center slightly. We have not had much of a breeze. We have had a couple home runs, though.
Yeah, I did get a little bit of a late start here, but the sun is still very, very bright. No need for the lights, although they do have it at this really, really fantastic facility.
1-1. Got her to cut on and miss.
I was told last time we were here that this facility actually hosted a Horizon League softball tournament a few years back. Obviously, they played the main games here, and then they auxiliary games on the other field, which is really nice. I mean, they got a nice scoreboard, good stands, good press box as well.
The 1-2 ends up bouncing its way to home plate. Yeah, our mutual friend Greg Rakestraw and I will be calling the Horizon League softball tournament, which is actually in Youngstown, Ohio, but we're going to be doing that remotely from the Tupelo Raycom studios in Indianapolis. Isn't that crazy how technology is?
Well, it is what it is. And one of the things that COVID taught broadcasting, I guess, is that you can broadcast remotely just about anything now. In the old days, you always thought you had to be in the building, but COVID proved that wasn't true. And now I think a lot of leagues and different broadcast companies are taking advantage of the not paying travel costs and hotel fees and all that other stuff and doing things remotely. Good, bad, I don't know, but that's the world we live in.
That's reality, yep. Layla Fatelli battling hard here. Here's the 2-2. Did she go around? Umpire says no, she did not, so the count is full.
And again, just to clarify for things, the home plate umpire does not have to ask for help. Sometimes the coach or the catcher will ask him to appeal, and he does not have to. He can say, nope, I saw it. We're not asking anybody.
Really good at bat by Fatelli. Second walk of the night issued by Eliza Finley.
Looks like Coach Stewart's going to ask for and get the courtesy runner for the catcher, Fatelli.
They bring in Alyssa Greenwalt. Or might be somebody wearing a different jersey.
Well, 77 on my roster, just like yours, John. Now, again, 77 sounds like one of those spring training numbers. That guy that's never going to make the club. I'll look on my phone. Are you looking it up as well?
Yeah, let's see. It might be different on the lineup that we got here.
And we're going off the program provided by Pendleton Heights, which is probably printed in, at the beginning of the season and may have had some changes by now.
Back at the top of the order with Megan Weiniger, who's 0 for 2. Like almost an excuse me swing there into left. Kaya Hubble makes the grab. One away.
Well, I mean, that's just her style of hitting. She's one of those slap hitters, left-hander, but does like to go the other way. She kind of runs forward, as you saw there on the replay. And again, she's just trying to slap something, obviously not put it in the air like that. first play of the game was when she tried to hit a line drive over Bryn Libler's head, and Libler made that fine catch.
Josie White is up. White has flown out to left. She's also grounded back to the pitcher. Remaining games of the season for Pendleton Heights. Obviously, the big one from Roncalli, you know about, or Pendleton, excuse me, New Palestine that we've already told you about. That's on Thursday. Then they have to play Shelbyville and Newcastle after that. And Shelbyville's playing very well. This could be two. There's one, not quite. So at least a fielder's choice. Retires the courtesy runner. And White able to get there on it. What is a 4-6 fielder's choice. Two away. And Greenfield Central is now down 2. 4 outs in this game. Olivia Roberts, 0 for 2, is up to bat. Roberts has made a couple of really nice plays in center field, has earned a couple of Jim Leisure stars. Just has not been able to get a hit yet. Pitch sailed a little bit on Finley there, 1-0.
She's a good hitter, however. She bats .405, gets 3 long balls on the season, and came into the ballgame with 17 RBI. So she can do it. Again, you gotta credit the pitcher Eliza Finley with keeping her off balance.
She rips it hard into left, but that is tailing foul. 1-1.
I think that's the second time that she's hit the foul ball home run today. Last time she did it, Finley came in with a really nice changeup and really kind of fooled her. You mentioned it earlier, John. Really big crowd here. Looks like some of the baseball game or baseball practice that was going on. A lot of those kids have come over to watch their classmates.
Yeah, so there, Finley, like you said, likes to get the ball down in the zone if the last pitch gets up and gets driven out.
Yeah, it's not, again, it can be a little confusing, the games within the games, but it's pretty simple stuff. If you're hitting me hard, I'm going to change speed. You're going to see a changeup. Now, the hitter knows that, so she's thinking changeup.
2-1 is high for ball 3.
And that's why sometimes, you go, okay, she thinks that I think, and I think that she thinks, and that's where sometimes people go, well, why did you throw that pitch?
You sound like Phoebe from that episode of
Yeah,
Friends.
exactly.
They don't know that we know they know.
Exactly.
Or they know we know,
like,
whatever it is.
So sometimes you outthink yourself.
Oh, no. Okay, so 3-2.
Yeah.
And they're calling her for interference.
Yep.
Okay, so basically what happened was it was strike 2 against Roberts. So then the catcher, Keely Ryan, was about to throw to second base, but because Roberts got in the way, she is ruled out at home for interference.
That is correct.
That is not something you normally see. Yeah, and that's not something that Ryan meant to do, but that's why you wear those helmets.
Yeah, and Roberts obviously didn't mean to step into the throw either. She just, she swung. Her momentum kind of took her. You're going to see it again. Very close shot here. I'm sorry. Didn't swing, but she was starting to go to first base, I think, thinking it was ball 4. Yeah, I mean, honestly, in today's world of concussions, that she'll probably have to go through some sort of protocol because that was an absolute shot. Granted, it hit the helmet. I get all that. But so do a lot of football players, things hit helmets. So they may want to check her out, make sure she's okay.
All right, bottom of the 6th we go, and it is batters 4, 5, and 6 due up for Pendleton Heights. Keely Ryan, Chloe Gregory, and Bo Shelton. Ryan tonight, 1 for 3. Gregory, of course, has the solo home run, 1 for 2 with a walk and a run batted in. Shelton is 0 for 1, but does have 1 run scored. She's also been hit by a pitch and drawn a walk. So that's what Faith Butler, the relief pitcher rather, is up in. What she's facing now.
Well, and again, we talked about it. Coach Davis would love to get 2 here and just end this thing. I know you say, who cares? It's 1 inning of pitching, but that 1 inning of pitching could come in handy, Thursday against New Pal if that game goes into extra innings. Plus, you just want to challenge your kids, constantly challenge them. You know, I used to always kind of try to have some fun with it, but I'd tell them, you know, come on, guys, let's get a couple here. Ladies, I got to get home and watch the last 10 minutes of Dynasty or whatever. And you know, just always push your kids, trying to make them better.
Swing and a drive by Ryan. That is gone. Well, Ryan hit the grand slam shot to end the game Monday night. She hits a solo home run here this time, and that makes it 10-1 Arabians.
Well, she is obviously seeing the ball well, and again, it doesn't matter if it's baseball or softball. You know, kids go into, you know, streaks where they see it well and they hit it and it comes in and it just looks like it's going real slow and it looks real big, and she just barrels this thing up, keeps her weight back, finishes high and drives it out. And then there's times when you're just not seeing it well, and for whatever reason, the things that you were doing earlier in the season that allowed you to have success have gotten away from you. Right now she's in a zone, and I don't know if New Palestine's coaches are, you know, sent a representative, maybe a freshman coach or somebody up here to scout this game and the game last night, but if they didn't, they should have, because there's information there to be had, and that is don't pitch to Kylie Ryan.
Of course, the problem is if you don't pitch to her, you got to deal with Chloe Gregory.
Yeah, it is really, truly a murderer's row of the lineup for Coach Davis.
Count evens up 1-1. Butler on in relief. Madison Herbert pitched 3 1/3 innings, gave up 6 runs, 4 of which were earned, did not have a strikeout, and had 2 walks.
Ball just came in just over the top of the zone and maybe dropped down a little bit by the time it got to the catcher, but it did not cross the plate in the zone.
The 2-1. Got jammed her a little bit, but she was able to foul it off. So Pendleton Heights, if they are able to score 1 run here, we end the game via the run rule. If they do not, then we go to the top of the 7th, and then it's Greenfield Central's last chance there. 2-2. Gregory stays alive and fouls it away back to over where her teammates are at the dugout.
Well, Gregory's got 5 long balls on the season, and again, she would love to walk this off with her 6 if she could. Actually, 6. She got 1 in the first.
Yep. If she hits 1 out, she'd be the 3rd member of the team with 7, and that stays in, but it's ripped over the head of Hornaday. Stand-up double, though, for Chloe Gregory. 4 for 6. That's Chloe Gregory in the last 2 games.
Well, nice job of hitting again, just squaring it up. Stayed back. Actually did not finish the swing high. She just may have gotten fooled a little bit on the pitch, but that's a good example, again, for you young hitters. If you keep your weight back and you keep your hands back, you can get fooled and still hit the ball hard.
Number 4,
Elena Fry is pinch hitting for Bo Shelton. So Shelton was on base twice tonight with a walk and a hit by pitch, scored a run. Fry on the season with no batting average. She is 0 for 3.
All she needs is a little bitty, what we call a duck snort, where you just kind of reach out there and just hit something just out of the reach of the infielders, and it might score a run here.
What a hilarious phrase that is.
Little duck snort.
Duck snort.
I don't know why it's called that. It just is. I know why a can of corn's called a can of corn, but I don't know why a duck snort's a duck snort.
She powers this one into left. That ball is near the wall, goes off it, stays in the park. But runners on 2nd and 3rd. So for a girl who had not gotten a hit this season, was 0 for her first 3, she gets her first hit of the season right there. Puts runners on 2nd and 3rd with nobody out.
Well, and I don't know if we're going to see this, but I think the runner on 2nd could do a better job here. Just start right now. You're going to be hopping, taking steps. And when you see the ball down, you're gone. She was almost standing on the bag as if she was going to tag. You got to turn around and play the fielder in that situation. You know, you're going to turn around, face the outfield, and just every time that center fielder takes a step, you take a little hop step. If that center fielder makes a great catch and crashes into the wall, you've got time. Here's a great shot of it here. Okay, she's just going to turn and look at it, and then she returns. You don't need to do that. You should be hopping toward 3rd. All right, hopping toward 3rd. You should be past that umpire. All right, so she goes back second. She should have scored. This ball game should be over.
Okay, so Avery Mollenkoff was about to come up and pinch hit. They have elected to put Mollenkoff on first base with an intentional walk.
Now, obviously now you got force out at home, and you got to come in. I mean, the infield is in, and there is no double play in the middle. Double play run scores, game over. So Greenfield does. I've even seen some teams bring an outfielder in and have them stand over second base.
Elena Smith is now up to bat, pinch hitting in the spot that Bryn Libler was at. Smith hitting .300 this season with 2 runs batted in, 3 hits. So bases loaded, nobody outs here for Pendleton. And Smith takes a called strike.
Again, there's nothing. Anything into the outfield scores a run because you're going to tag up on third. I'm surprised that Greenfield does not bring that 5th infielder in. Why not? What do you got to lose?
Just misses. All right, well, he called a delayed strike.
Now you got 2
he waited a
strikes
while
on.
before he put that fist up.
Yeah, I even looked. I waited, and then I went to score my book, and it wasn't until you said it.
That one in the air could be a potential sac fly territory. Caught by Roberts. Roberts with a nice throw to home plate. It is not in time. The run scores. It is 11-1, and the Pendleton Heights Arabians extend their winning streak to 6 games as they end this one early via the run rule. They are now 9-1 at home, 17-3 on the season, and get ready for a big conference showdown against New Palestine on Thursday. Here's one last look at it from Elena Smith. And Olivia Roberts made a nice play. She's made several out there defensively tonight, but she wasn't going to be able to beat that throw in time.
No, the runner was just too fast at third, and that was, again, just not going to happen. So congratulations to Coach Davis and his squad, Coach Stewart and his team. Honestly, again, a lot of times you can always say, boy, if we could just eliminate 1 inning. They give up the 6 runs in that 4th inning, I believe it was. And, and that's what you got to do. You got to go tell your girls, look, ladies, we didn't play that badly. We had a horrible inning. And then you break down that inning and you identify all the reasons why you lose, that inning, and you fix them. And then you get better. And that's how it works.
And they had 4 errors in the game. I mean, that's Greenfield Central's 10-5 with the loss, so they have not been a team that's been bad defensively, but tonight they just had some uncharacteristic errors, and when you commit 4 of them in a game, hard to beat anybody, especially a really good team like Pendleton Heights, who is now 17-3 on the year. Jim, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, again, this one's done, and for both squads, and really looking forward to Thursday. I know that Coach Davis and his 7 seniors have probably had more than their share of New Palestine softball in the last few years, and they would love to go down there and get some payback. So that's should be a fantastic game, John. Really looking forward to it.
And New Palestine entered the night at 13-3, so you're looking at 2 teams well over double digits in terms of being over 500, and 2 of the best teams in the Hoosier Heritage Conference. So it should be very interesting to see what we've got coming up on Thursday night as Coach Rob Davis addresses his team after their 11-1 win. Big thanks to John Painter, Bill McKenna, and our entire crew. For my partner, Jim Leisure, I'm John Herrick saying so long from Legends Field in Pendleton. You've been watching high school softball on 9 Star TV and the ISC Sports Network.